Hello everybody, Pinstripe here, and welcome to another Hogs of War League match here in Group A. It is Mr. Niclas versus Mr. Seifer, and tonight I am joined by KB.
Hello everyone, nice to be back.
And these two on opposite ends of the table right now. Niclas currently sitting, I'm going to say it, sitting comfortably in first at the moment.
He said the funny me.
Well, Seifer sitting in sixth. We do have the three maps as normal, best of three, bringing out the Grassy Outpost, which I'm very excited for, Uhillik, and if we do go to a round three, Pitch Invasion. So lineups wise, we see a medic from Niclas. In fact, we see exactly the same lineup from both players on this first round, which for Grassy Outpost is a good mix. Have you played much of it, KP?
Not much of Grassy Outpost, no. I've seen bits and pieces though. It's an interesting map. I actually like these three. I haven't seen Pitch Invasion for a long time. For a while I felt it was just way too common for a while, but now it's kind of got a bit rarer. I'm actually really looking forward to another game on there if we go to round three. So yeah, fingers crossed.
I don't know why, but I feel like Niclas has seen Pitch Invasion the most out of any player. I'm not sure if it's just me, but when I see Niclas and Pitch Invasion in the same sentence, I'm like, again? Well, who knows? Maybe he'll be able to take the win before then.
Yeah, who knows? This is. I'm now remembering. I was confusing Grassy Outpost with something else, but I'm now remembering that yes, this is indeed a map I've seen a few times. One I rather like actually. I think the new pool is pretty damn good. As we see Seifer here going for the standard medic on medic, get that first trank off, and his next pig is the paratrooper. So what's he going to do here? Lots of options. Got buildings, plenty of crates. Yeah, pretty open-ended map. This one, I would say.
Yeah, there's a lot of crates, and again, everyone says, oh, surely Penn should know what's in the crates, seeing as he put them there. But it's very easy to lose track of, I will say, because you can get a sword on this island crate that Seifer doesn't want because he's too cool for that. But he is going to trade jetpacks, maybe with some mines as well. He's only got 10 seconds, though.
Normally, yeah, running out of time to use those resources.
Yeah, I mean, all the sniper rifles in the world, so he's putting all the damage onto the para, which is good because the obvious defensive play here, if Ledhos is able to survive, is to swing himself over to those medics and try and break them up with the jetpack. But in all honesty, even from that distance, this is like medium distance here, Niclas, I'm sure, will know his jumps, but he is going to be staying on this one side, staying somewhat defensive, maybe dealing with the pillbox. I don't know. What is your preference, by the way, on pillboxes? Because everybody feels that they're just not worth taking out. They'll just ignore the pillbox for the entirety of the game, let the other player shoot all their shots, basically. But is that your standpoint, or are you like a pillbox destroyer?
I feel in general that it's probably better to try and do damage to pigs that are outside of the pillbox, because you're just kind of wasting damage on a building which will eventually run out of ammo with the machine guns and all the rest. I almost feel like it's better to try and just position yourself so you're going to be harder to hit and then just wait for the machine guns to run out. But it's kind of situational. If it's been damaged a bit and you can get a nice clean hit away in one turn to maybe destroy it, a nice shrapnel or whatever, then yeah, why not? I think it's very situational, but yeah, in general, I think you're just better off damaging pigs and trying to keep out of the way.
That's so interesting. I mean, I get it as well, because the pillbox is one of those vehicles that you have to have a sight line. With an artillery, you can do whatever. But yeah, I get it when it's a map like Daybreak, where you're not necessarily guaranteed a sight line all the time. But here, I mean, there's only two of them, but they are still, I think, 150 each armor-wise. Yeah, I don't know. It's so crazy to me that's the kind of mindset for a lot of players. But to each their own.
I suppose so, yeah. And actually on the artillery question as well, that's an interesting one, because yes, you don't need a sight line because you've got those long range shells, but people seem to be really janky with their artillery shots sometimes. That's a building I'm even more inclined to ignore, because people just miss half the time anyway, so it's just let them waste time in there.
That's interesting. I hope to blitz people with my awesome artillery shots in future, maybe. Take me back to hetero warfare. Anyway, let's get back to the play-by-plays. Because we've seen TNTs from Seifer, nice shot there from Niclas. Scout already down to 40 HP, bearing in mind that, again, lineups being exactly the same. Scouts on both sides go fourth, so who can get that first poison in? And will Seifer look to go for the med? We are seeing the timer glitch what's the input? Is that the right word? The timer glitch usage, whereby you start your power shot, which pauses the timer and allows you, so long as you have a slippery tile in front of you, the ability to cancel the usage and gain yourself a little bit of extra time. If you mess up, of course, it is hugely disadvantaged. It is a huge disadvantage to you. I personally am not too fussed on it, probably because I haven't used it or tried to yet. And knowing me and how clumsy I am with walking around, prob's not going to in future.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of new mechanics we're seeing more and more of. It's like, yeah, if you can make use of it, fine. I think we've only seen it fail really once. It might be Machetino doing it. But on that previous turn with the sniper, I feel like this is becoming almost a bit of a, not to be like harsh or anything, but it's almost becoming a bit of a Seifer signature as he uses the whole turn and seems a little indecisive. Kind of thought about poisoning the medic, then didn't. Then kind of got out a last second sniper on the, I think the gunner was nearby.
Yeah.
Oh, and very, very late TNT there from Niclas.
Very surprising from Niclas too. Just didn't quite give himself enough leg room. Only deals, that was what, 26 damage. So yeah, kind of 2 wasted turns. I was waiting for Seifer to poison the mid. They're not snout to snout right now, so there is a little bit of a gap to throw that poison in there. But he, just kind of wandered aimlessly around with his poison gas and then went for the sniper rifle shot.
Yeah, I feel like Seifer, from what I've seen, he's been playing well, but he does seem sometimes a little indecisive with his turns and a bit sort of leaves things to the last second. But then Niclas did the same, and normally he's ice cold. So, slight sort of tentative start here from the two lads.
Yeah, he did get, he was quite unlucky on that first game, bearing in mind that he skipped week 1, so while the hype was going on for everybody else, he had to wait that little bit extra time and ended up losing his first game against Revan 3-1. That included a first draw of the season on round 2. But so far, with his 160 gunner, I'm surprised as well that no one had collected that health crate up until then. He gets a further 40 from that roller onto Niclas's gunner down to 60. So you've still got the power to deal with. You've still got your medic inside that MoMA. So he's going to maintain some kind of body block on the scout here. Looks for a mortar. That looks a little bit long. Might not
Just
be
a little
450.
bit, I would say.
Yeah, 45 is good.
Oh, still pretty good, actually.
We take.
Worse than that.
Very nice.
Yeah, as we said before, anything over 40 is better than a bazooka, so generally worth it.
That's true. I mean, then again, we look at the other side of the spectrum too. Niclas sitting top of Group A right now, finishes his first two matches with 2 wins up against Mephisto and Fox as well. So he's coming into this match off the back of a 2-0 win against the former champion of 2022, that of Iron Fox. But Seifer, at the moment, is in the driving seat with the MoMA, but bearing in mind after this tranquilizer, he will need to vacate and allow room for damage on that orderly without a body block. But we've seen it a few times now, whereby you will get the early MoMA advantage, but in the long run, things can quite easily change up around. And again, when you're facing up against Niclas, you really have to take those precautions and get the hits in.
Yeah, definitely I'd say Niclas going to this as the favourite, and possibly one of the favourites overall, actually. He's one of the strongest players. He's sort of been the bridesmaid and not the bride a lot of the time in these tournaments, but who knows? Could be his year.
Yeah, he's consistently got his way through to the playoffs, consistently got his way through to the final, and has, in all honesty, in my mind, he has deserved some kind of title, which I'm sure he will get eventually in future. But for now, we still have a few weeks left of group stages before we get to said playoffs, and still pillboxes to deal damage onto. Which
now this feels like. Is he going to hit his own lad? This feels like a very...
Wow.
Precisely. I was going to say, that looked like a very, very even firing arc to do that. Poor old Gunner's taken a massive beating.
But he's managed to deal extra damage and avoid any kind of skip, because if he'd have stayed on 20, that would have been perfect for Seifer.
Yeah, in a way, I suppose it kind of worked out better than it could have done. This is a very scarily beefed up engineer as well for Seifer.
Yeah, NG and Gunner sitting pretty, but Niclas still with both pillboxes as well, so that extra armor hiding those 2 vital pigs, which in all honesty makes it difficult for Seifer to go for anyone but the pillboxes, seeing as the med is still body block too. So you kind of put yourself into a bit of a double bind in that you don't take the armor, and you don't have enough targets, therefore you end up having to target the armor, as we just saw. So a nice destruction of that pillbox. Scout brought down to single digits, and Niclas's Sapper still on full HP.
Yes, indeed. And there's some potential targets right by the water here, although the water is narrower on this map than Grassy Knolls, which is the later version that we're used to seeing, Mission 2 from the campaign.
Yeah,
so who's he
boy.
going to pick?
Yeah,
A little more indecision.
I'd stick with the Sapper, yeah. Power right now is not as important, purely based on health, and any water damage there is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, that's just got to be too tempting a shot to miss up, which he does take. So let's see just how he lands. This looks like it's going to be pretty good, I would say, in the middle of this sort of triangular body of water just there.
Ooh, decent
Yeah, not
spin.
bad at all.
Yeah. I'll take that. But it's got to, again, the gunners are always the ones that if you allow them to boost their health, you forget about them so easily. And it happens more often than you think. Because they're the class that everyone just is like, nah, I don't need to damage the gunner. There are more important targets right now. And then suddenly it's like, suddenly it's a 3v2, but you've got this guy still beefed up. And trying to get some guns on him soon. But this is interesting maneuvers. Maybe looking to bunch them up.
Yeah, it looks like
who's
it.
going next. We're on the gunners now, so it will be either Med or Gren next up. Oh, I think he just got away enough. I think he
was just okay. I thought he was going to slip back then. That was kind of scary.
And decent bunching up, but it is the scouts go, as it is still Niclas to take his turn. So there should be one final poison here from Niclas before the scout bites the dust.
I wonder if there's potential for a double rolling it down the hill, maybe, or is he just going to go for safe damage in the order?
He's got to go on the med here, surely. I mean, yes, the damage numbers, but the med needs to be taking damage over time here. So I'm surprised at the snipe, but I'm sure he's got something planned.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit of a waste. Perhaps he just didn't want to risk at all poisoning his own guy. Looking at the health bars, Seifer does have quite a nice advantage at the moment, though, by the look of it, health-wise.
Can only heal the power, though, seeing as the gunner's boosted. So he'll be bumped back up to 100. So the health pools alone are big advantage here for Seifer. And with the final trank coming out, this is where we see a lot of bunching up. Everyone is very crammed over in this corner. And if I was Niclas over there in that pillbox, I would keep my distance and not bring the fight to Seifer. Because as you mentioned, with the difference in this map, you have more of a layer between low to mid to high ground, so traversing around takes a lot longer compared to Grassy Knolls. You can't just run from one side to the other without having to take some kind of lane, whether it be the outside where the bridges would be, or going through the middle and then around. It's a difficult one to traverse to get your head around initially, but it's worth it when you learn those skips as well, which I believe the likes of Niclas and Revan have, and that is a very good mortar.
Yeah, that looks excellent. A 48, very, very nice. Any extra? Nope, but still a good shot. But yeah, you're right. I think the thing to do will really just be to stay defensive over on that far side for Niclas now. Just stay nice and comfy in that pillbox, keep your distance, and try and wait it out. Although, with the health differences being what they are, it's kind of might be coming down to crunch time a bit for Niclas here. Seifer is dealing out some pretty hefty and consistent damage. You see a mine going down now as well.
Yeah, there's 2 kills available for Seifer here, as both Gunner and Scout are on low HP, but he doesn't want to go down, because he doesn't want to lose the mid-ground advantage here. So he is looking to snipe the med instead, so he will guarantee a kill. He might get lucky, he might slide down. No, he goes the other direction.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Potential for a bit of bunching up damage there, but nope, not quite make use of it.
Yeah, but that
goes
was
down.
The 2 turns that Niclas had dealing damage onto that med, by the way. That was 88 damage in 2 turns onto the enemy medic. But will it be enough? Again, we've got basically near enough a full health pig for Niclas in the pillbox. And if he's able to gain some kind of sightline with his final shot, I will be surprised, because Seifer knows that the pillbox is over there, so he is staying down here on the low ground. And TNT would be decent, but he doesn't want to risk damaging his gunner. Save every single HP point.
What we're going to see from the shrapnel here? Just a 30. Always disappointing.
Yeah, so does Niclas have any kind of sightline? That is, yeah, he's got plenty.
As it turns out, yeah. Oh, no, actually just the one.
Yeah, he'll take it.
I mean, still better than nothing.
But that will mean, I think, that the med... That's basically 20 damage onto that para, because the med should be able to heal, unless the medic for Niclas is able to take his turn, which I'm sure Seifer will have something to say about it, given that he is down to, I think, 40 HP now. So he should be able to take him out in one hit here.
Yes, indeed, and that should be his priority right away, just to take this guy out of the game. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a bit too much of a big ask for Niclas, because yes, he has a pretty much full HP guy over in the pillbox, but there's still the 160 HP gunner to deal with, which is just... it's insane, along with most of the rest of Seifer's team as well. I feel like, yeah, this is going to be big hill to climb for Niclas. A little bit of self-damage.
It is pretty crazy, but then you look at the slight bunch-up that you have with the medic and the para.
Oh, yes.
In fact, I would honestly blast the gunner towards these two, so that, yes, the med can heal one of them. In fact, no, he's probably just going to outright kill the medic. But if the med had more health, then I'd look for more of a bunch-up. But yeah, there should be a kill and easy damage here for Niclas. So both meds will be out of this fight. There is still as well the low health HP gunner, HP source gunner.
Yes. I mean, it's a fair point, though. Never discount those low health pigs.
Yeah, and again, if the scout was alive now for Niclas, it's that extra damage on the scout too. It is 7. He will happily take that. And I think... Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so this will be one of the potential technical difficulties that we heard about. So this will be some sort of disconnect madness, I presume.
Beautiful editing from Mr. Niclas, by the way. Shout out to Niclas for showing us both POVs and the perfect example of a desync happening on netplay.
Yeah, this is actually kind of quite educational, really, to see proper desync from both sides, so the audience gets an idea of just how crazy it can go when netplay decides to go funky on us.
Yeah, so we get the kill on the one, but then we also saw 40. Oh yeah, 40 damage on. So completely different things happening on both screens. So I suspect that we're going to see some kind of reset, because this is indeed a redub. Sorry to spoil it for everyone, but we will be going to a part 2.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, that seems to be a good point to leave it at. Wait, what is it? I'm not even reading it. Recreate the situation on another solution. Reviewing the situation, decided to resign map 1. Okay. Too high of an HP disadvantage. I mean, that's very noble of him. Okay.
It is, yeah. I guess that they just, they've gone on too long, because the save states are quite frequent, aren't they? So I guess. Yeah.
Alright, well, add 1-0.
Indeed.
Mr. Seifer. So welcome back, everybody, to round 2. Seifer takes that first round. It was not quite gifted to him by Niclas, but very gracious of him to kind of forfeit that first round after unfortunate circumstances. I don't know if they had autosaver on, but I do have to stress to anyone that is hosting, or if you are player 1, get your autosaver on, make sure it is up to date, because you will need it if there are any kind of disconnections or issues of that manner, and desyncs as well. But on to round 2, on to you, Hillock. You can see this time both players bring in a Gren first. Para Sapper, Sapper Gunner for Niclas, but Sapper Scout Gunner for Seifer. So just the one change going into you, Hillock. What are your thoughts going into round 2, Mr. KB?
I'm just looking forward to a damn fine old slobber knocker on this absolutely brutal map, which I feel like we've seen quite a lot of lately, but it's always just such an entertaining one, this one. Lineups-wise, I feel like bringing a sniper is a little out of the box. I think going for pure damage here is often preferable, but, we'll see if what Seifer's got in mind there. He might be able to get a couple of cheeky little skips and things, who knows?
It will be Mr. Niclas to go first, so he does have that advantage going into this one, so he's not entirely on the back foot after giving up that first round. But Grenadiers, I'm quite excited for this because we very rarely see a Uhiluk that does not contain a medic, so completely mixed lineups. And I'm honestly leaning more towards the poison here. I mean, Sapper, this is effectively Sapper Central. Welcome to Sapper Central, calling it Uhiluk. Pitch Invasion as well is quite a heavy one, so I'm sure there'll be some saved there for Seifer if we do go to a round 3. But this is, of course, the huge benefit of turn 1. You pick up those mines. I mean, it was perfect spawns for the Gren to pick up the mines and the jetpacks and get a beautiful hit there on the scout. Full damage as well. No full damage. So sad. That hurts me.
Mighty cluster, though. And yeah, spawn was absolutely ideal for Niclas. My first question was going to be, does he go for the mines or the jetpacks? He goes for both, it turns out. Absolutely ideal first turn there. That's already going to be a big advantage for Mr. Niclas. But what can Seifer do in return? Grabs the cheeky rocket launcher and will go for a cluster of his own.
He knows the areas to aim for, whether it be a cluster or a TNT, especially in this top corner. And it's basically going to be directly in front of that Sapper where he's going to be looking. Don't worry, the desync messages, I'm sure, will go away shortly. There they go.
Nice spot for a body block here.
Okay.
Ooh. This could be huge, though. This is often a great way to do damage. Yeah, because you let the clusters drop around them, you're much more likely to get 14s and 15s out of that. So, yeah, very nice damage there from Seifer.
It was a nice cluster, but I was quite surprised. I think he maybe threw too much power, but I was expecting him to try and blast him off the map there, because it's quite an easy one to push guys away. I mean, they can make it back to the safe area, but look at the bunching up here from that first brutal hit with the cluster onto the jetpack, sorry. And then this should be an easy cleanup with the bazooka. Yeah, I'd probably put this on the scout maybe, because he might be able to kill the scout here if he's low enough.
Yeah, could potentially, if he can just get the shot away in time.
Oh, that's huge though, because he also maintains a slight body block on the scout. He is very low, single digits, so he can't even look to jetpack onto that Paro without potentially killing his own scout here. So that's worked out perfectly for Niclas.
Yeah, that was a beautiful turn. Very, very strong start here from Niclas.
And yeah, he's going to look to break that body block on the Goga. Grenadier on gunner action.
The Goga. Dear me, that's not the most caveman term I think we've heard in Hogs of War.
Me want Goga. Me want jetpack now.
From the Museum of Modern Art to Goga. So he breaks up the Goga, goes for a nice bazooka, although he would have been hoping to knock that Grenadier closer to the water on that side, although, well, he gets him down on this side, so...
Ask and you shall receive.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a nice slide in the end. And of course, with the lower HP of the Gren, like a single jetpack plus a decent bazooka halves his health instantly. And this is the kind of the worst place for the Sapper as well, because, yeah, it immediately loses almost 20 HP. And, I mean, if he can get the extra... You could get the extra explosion from the shrapnel here if you do it on the right side, but I think he's looking for that shrapnel damage. Ooh, that's only...
Not bad at all.
Okay, so it's a 70. Decent.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been nice to try and get the explosion from the box, but, I mean, maybe a bit much of an ask with a shrapnel. Probably better overall to go for that standard shot, and, yeah, gets a 70 out of it. So, yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah, 50 to 70 is the normal now. It's the mid-range. You have to be in the upper echelons of 90 to 110 to get a real wow out of some people, but, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame that 70's become almost unremarkable nowadays. But, I mean, that said, though, I feel this tournament, the shrapnel's not been quite as devastating as they have been in previous tournaments. I think people are maybe relying on old-school TNTs a bit more these days. It feels to me, anyway, just from watching and observing. But
yeah, that's usually my preference, yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, that was very long.
Yeah, it seems similar to his cluster onto this Sapper. It just seemed to... Maybe it's the input delay. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, quite surprising from Seifer. You'd have expected at least a 50 there.
Yeah, it could potentially be an input delay problem. It's not quite so pronounced these days with the current setup we're using with NetPlay rather than Parsec, which is the old way we used to connect. But yeah, potentially could be, because there's been a lot of sort of overshot throws from Seifer so far, which I wouldn't normally expect. Now, this could be devastating on this big bunch of water here, so what's going to happen to Seifer's gunner here? Down to 120 already. It's quite a long throw.
It's a good
but
push.
Still going to be good.
Yeah, I honestly think he could have got a kill on him there. You could see that Niclas was kind of debating on how far back to maneuver his sapper. If he'd gone just a little bit further back, he could have dropped him right in the middle. Again, it kind of comes down to the spin too, but either way, he's down to 30 HP. Scout not looking too healthy either.
Yeah, just lingering on with 2 health. And yeah, I agree, he was probably going for the kill there, but just a little too overshot. But he'll take that damage, I'm sure. In the meantime, we're going to see Seifer's poison strats coming into play.
Scout's only going to have time for 1, given his HP. So the question now, though, is will it come in clutch at a later part? Because this gunner is still healthy. His own Gren is still healthy too, so despite Niclas getting off to that strong start, he needs to be wary of where he's taking damage and how he can try and bunch pigs up, because there's a lot of separate battles going on. If you look in the bottom left, you've got the sappers doing their own thing, you've got these guys here, you've got the guys in the middle, and it's Niclas's pigs who are more spread out and singular targets, which are a little bit easier for Seifer at the moment. So if he can keep up the damage and kind of keep up with Niclas, you never know. He could come back into this.
Could potentially, yeah. I'd say it's sort of anyone's game at the moment with a slight advantage to Niclas. But yeah, that Grenadier is still pretty healthy even after that mortar shot. So yeah, all to play for, I'd say, while that guy still lives.
Yeah, if that Gren can get one more turn in on one of Niclas's more stronger pigs, maybe even the Para, one of the sappers even, because this gunner is going to be going straight up for the Gren. He has to, because he's on 40 something. So yeah, 48. So he's looking for the for the skip. So unfortunate. I mean, he doesn't have to worry.
That was my thought, though, when he went for the poison on the Grenadier. I thought, is that really the ideal target? He's right by the water. He's a little isolated from the rest of the pack kind of thing. And then, yeah, we saw there the dangers of trying to get precise damage with someone right next to the water. You end up with his nothing.
Yeah, it's a 2-stage process where you've got to get the shot on target, but also put it in a place where you guarantee that the pig won't fall in the water and you will gain the skip. So this is a huge advantage for Niclas, because he was thinking about dropping his HP down because he doesn't want to set his Gren up for a skip here, but he can potentially remove him completely, and that is indeed a kill. He's going to fall straight into the drink here.
Any second now.
Whoop.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Oh, that makes me laugh every time.
Oh yes, my God, look at this though.
Oh, the devastation! That's the big triple. Oh, man.
Oh, well. Okay, well. Looks like we might be seeing a round 3 here, unless the sapper can go absolutely ham. I don't see it.
Unfortunately not, unless this is the shrapnel of the century. I feel that perhaps that was maybe a little too devastating from Niclas there. That was absolutely incredible. One of the best turns I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, so Seifer's going to put all his... Oh, that looks a bit long again. Yeah, only 30. I don't know if it's, again, indecisiveness or slight input delay. Let us know in the comments, Seifer, but unfortunately, once again, not getting the best out of that hit, and now the sapper is only 2 hits away from Niclas taking this round. Doesn't even need to take a second glance at that scout as he jumps on his head a second time. He laughs as he runs away, and doesn't even need to care about damaging his own sapper, just needs to deal damage.
It does feel nice to be in a position of this much dominance, really, when you're just kind of like, you don't have to worry about damaging your own guys, you just got to clean up.
Yeah, but this is, again, where I've talked about it before, although the video hasn't come out yet, but complacency is such a huge thing when you're in the driving seat. It's so easy to give up 2 turns where you're just meant to deal damage, right? You just need to deal damage, and you're like, I've got this, it's sorted. And you mess up because you slip on that moment where you just need to be dealing consistent damage. So if this sapper was, say, on like full HP right now, and that was only the 20 damage dealt there from that para, that would have been huge. Because again, the Grenadier on Niclas's team is still poisoned, and this guy has taken a lot of damage. So
A hell of a lot.
yeah, so there are still, low HP pigs, but I think HP-wise, at the moment, this should be in the bag for Niclas.
Yeah, it should be easy enough. Talking about that sort of late game thing, it's very easy sometimes to get a bit too overcautious, I think. And you kind of, even when you're solidly in the driving seat, sometimes players are a bit reluctant to damage their own pigs just in case, blah, blah, blah. And that's where it can go wrong. Sometimes you just got to be confident and go for it. Like that, for example.
Yeah, I mean, he got a 30 and dealt more damage onto his own pig, but either way, he got the damage.
And it's going to be an easy final turn very, very soon, as we see Seifer just taking his last turn with the sapper, try and get some water damage here, prevent this from being a survival bonus win.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Hey. Great minds think alike and all that.
But yeah, no, I honestly think that if this guy had more health, if he was still full HP, if even 120, if Niclas hadn't have dealt that big 70 early on, then Seifer would have still had some kind of foothold. Because if this guy's dead, and there's a potential skip on the... I'm saying all of this and it's hypothetical, and Niclas is about to destroy him to take round 2, but even so...
Okay, you just...
Yeah.
It's always good to keep things open and never just discount the player entirely, but I think, yeah, this was over a few rounds ago, but well done for carry on Seifer and for at least preventing that survival bonus. And yeah, on to round 3 after a pretty damn explosive round 2. Look at the HP on that gun, crikey.
I know, insane. So we move on to pitch invasion.
Yay.
So welcome back everybody to round 3 as we move on to pitch invasion. This time around Niclas and Seifer have been saving the best till last in that of their medics. So we see the med double para double scout from Niclas. He is going full fox on this one. And I suspect, yeah, Seifer with the med double para single scout and single sapper. So he did save his remaining firepower for pitch invasion, which is pretty good, but with the sapper going 5th, I mean, he's going to have to be waiting a little bit, a while, I guess, in order to be dealing that big damage. But just thinking ahead to what we find on Pitch Invasion KB, you see those health crates, you see the airburst on top of the platforms as well. So I guess it makes sense. Oh my goodness, I guess it makes sense that we see the double paras, but it will be Niclas to go first.
Yeah, this is already going to be a big advantage for Niclas because, yeah, like you say, there's lots of options in terms of healing and firepower. I think firepower is what people tend to go for, and I tend to agree. Those airbursts are just way too juicy to pass up.
Yeah, so the usual turn of events is to avoid the puddles because you can indeed slip within them. You're welcome. And take the MoMA and then use those first 2 turns to gain access to, well, both airbursts, I assume, is what Mr. Niclas will do. Or he'll do one of each. I'm not sure. Let's see. Place your bets, left or right. He is going right.
I'm going to say right. Yeah, I'm going to say it's 2 airbursts.
Okay. I mean, you do technically have enough time to take them both and take your turn as well, but it's this maneuvering here that takes the longest, where you've got to go around the minefield. Again, you're welcome, and then collecting both airbursts. So wow. Times 6 airbursts to begin. Big advantage for Niclas.
Absolute brutality. That's a perfect little shot. And yet, look at that. Fantastic airburst right there. Very, very good start from Niclas.
Yeah, now the obvious solution here is to collect both health crates. Yes, it takes time, but from a defensive standpoint, you've just been blasted in the face. And, oh my goodness, that is just going to hit. Okay, he doesn't keep the high ground either, but wow. Crazy jetpack maneuvers. He does get him down, I am surprised, but again, you are leaving the HP vulnerable. I guess he is still trying to go on the offensive here. I'm liking the plays from Seifer.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking the offense. And I mean, at least he did hit the paratrooper up there, but I feel like you just got to take the health away from your opponent, because now Niclas could potentially just steal it all and just have all the resources for himself.
Yeah, I like it. It's punch for punch, but I think maybe he should have looked to break the MoMA as he did and then go get the health. I mean, I'm, again, more of a defensive player. That's more of my preference. But Niclas is ignoring the health as well, so neither player looking to grab the HP. I think it is either only 10 or 20. I've forgotten, if I'm honest, because it's been a long time since I played this map.
Yeah, I want to say 20, but it's a while since I've seen the map as well, so yeah, who knows what I know.
So Niclas
going to be a good shot.
Yeah, instead he is also throwing punch for punch and re-engaging the MoMA block there. Wow, so Seifer can either this time grab HP or say, nah, screw you, I'm going to punch you again. Both players just going full offensive. I'm loving it. It's crazy, and it's ending the MoMA sooner than we thought it would be. Potentially.
Yeah, I think you can definitely see what Seifer's plan is here, is just annihilate this medic as soon as he can. So yeah, let's enjoy the aggression while it's here. Yeah. And you get a good bazooka away. He's had a few overshots in the last couple of games, so let's see if we can get this one right on target.
Oh, it's...
he's gonna hope it is, but it's a bit long again.
That's the only
downside. A few head jumps will sort that out, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's... These are the really small details that I love about Hogs, is that misses like those cost you so much because it's now the time you have to take to get those head jumps within the next 1 to 2 turns. Like if I was Seifer right now, I would not be happy because that is just so annoying. But I guess pitch invasion is very much body block central. Like everybody's going to be grouping up.
Yeah, it's all going to get... You can already tell this is going to be a game that's going to be played pretty much over this side of the map. It's going to get very, very... no double there for Niclas. But yeah, it's all going to take place in this area of the map, I think. Everyone's already quite bunched up.
Yeah.
So the thing to do is really make use of bunching up and poisons and all the rest. Not a bad attempt from Niclas there, and we'll see if Seifer will do any better. But he's now got to waste time with these head jumps on the medic. See if we can get through them quickly. They're already going quite well.
I guess it's... I was going to say it's a little bit fortunate that it's the scout doing this because he is a little bit faster with that medium HP. But yeah, only 2 and then a body block. But it is going to be just the scout's mentality for Niclas is obvious. Sorry, 3 head jumps there. Because it is just find a target, poison. And I suspect that this one will be going on the medic, seeing as the previous turn was on somebody else.
Yeah, seems like the obvious target, I would say.
There was jetpacks everywhere, so I have kind of lost track of how much HP the med has now. But he is more, he is way more viable for Niclas to gain a skip more 20. Wow, perfect.
Easy peasy.
So the punch for punch blows that we saw earlier ended up totting up nicely for Niclas in the end, which I guess is another example of maybe where I don't want to keep pleading my case for a defensive strat, but just saying maybe the health crates would have been a nicer pick. But here we are. Either way, the medic's going to die for Niclas once he finally gets the head jump, and then I suspect we'll be seeing the avoidance of the skip on the other med. So really nobody gets the advantage in the end. It was just a very, very quick offensive few plays to damage both meds and bring them to where we are now. So now, with everybody bunched up in this on this side of the map, which is hurting me again because, oh, wow, I'm not sure if that was intended, but he will take that extra damage.
Yeah, that was... I mean, he used the whole TNT just to take out his own medic, but then, that extra damage there, probably worth it on the whole, but he might miss those resources later.
Yeah, that was nice, though. He got the 20 and then landed in the puddle, and I think he got a little bit of a lucky spin, too.
Yeah, that probably worked out about as well as it could have done, given the circumstances in the end, but we're now going to see some big... Or are we going to see some bunching up from Niclas? It looked like it for a moment, but not going the other way.
Yeah, I think he wants to create some distance, get a skip as soon as possible. Goes for the double hit. He is doing the mathematics because right now he is looking for those skips. I mean, it's routine plays when you've just got 2 paras with them jetpacks. A skip coming in on that para immediately, plus the scouts in their poison. You know what the agenda of the day is for Niclas. It is to poison, to damage, to gain skips, and put the pressure onto the remaining para, sapper, and scout for Seifer.
I feel like this is classic Niclas play, really. Sort of almost plays like a professor in this game. He keeps track of those numbers. He sets up those poisons just how he likes. I feel like he's very much in the driving seat right now.
Yeah, I like as well how he's saving one for later. Again, please somebody collect health crate. Like you save so much trouble as a paratrooper in maneuvering yourself up to. Oh no!
Oh,
not again!
No, here we go again.
Oh no! I think we're good. Okay.
Well, I certainly hope so. That was extremely ominous, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out very soon what's actually going to happen.
Gordon Ramsay sus everywhere. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, because Seifer here is... He's definitely not desynced, but he has been quite indecisive on what to do. Maybe it was just lag, I'm not entirely sure. But it is still very, very good damage, because that's even damage onto the scout there.
Yeah, very nice turn,
no,
actually.
I forgot that's it is out of bounds. Oh.
Oh, okay, no save states again. After 20 minutes, we were able to redo the last turn. Okay, so it went really rather wrong. But yes, for anyone who's not aware, out of bounds kills we are now not allowing. So they would have had to redo that turn in the name of fairness.
Yeah, they didn't have save states again, so again, I must plead with you to keep your autosaver on and ensure that it is up to date. Otherwise, you will have to go through the pain of recreating the exact amount of HP. But again, we'll see the same turn from Seifer as he hits with the jetpack and then the bazooka again. But on this occasion, I don't think he's gonna get. Yeah, doesn't get the extra damage onto the scout there. So
that will do.
That will do from Seifer. He's happy with that.
Yeah, they must have been trying for a while to try and get a similar turn without an out-of-bounds kill. But, yeah, bit of a shame there for Seifer, but those are the rules these days.
Yeah, it's unfortunate down. Bad product. bad map design.
I mean, once again, though, it's amazing we're able to do anything with a game of this vintage and get decent tournaments out of them. You're always going to experience a little bit of jank and difficulties and all the rest. So, yeah, it's great that we can still at least have some good games, even if we have to implement rules to get around some of the dodgy older mechanics.
Yes, indeed. As you say, a beautiful vintage.
Oh, yeah, it's like a fun
one. Wonderful.
Oh, yes.
And that was beautiful time management there from Niclas. Doesn't quite get the double, but once more we have this line of pigs. And I'll go back to my previous monologue of paratroopers and the platforms and distance. This is the kind of matchup that I hate the most, where you have maps where there's just constant body blocks, there's constant just grouping up massive pigs, like you see on Well as well. Just the constant stream of pigs grouping up together. So my advice in these situations would be to maneuver yourself elsewhere if you can. Try and get some distance from you and your opponent, because the more that you can make him maneuver around and bring the fight to you, the better, because that's puts them more likely to kind of mess up in their shot, whether it be with a bazooka or their timing with a TNT or a grenade launcher or something, you know? Because when you are so close to pigs like this, you are playing to the strengths of the sapper, who is just waiting there with his TNTs and shrapnels. And same with the scouts too. Easy poisons, easy doubling up. So the more that you can break those lines of sight, the better. Oh.
Once again, that was an unlucky one from Seifer. Once again, seeing him do the shrapnel, but then look down at the ground first. I don't know if that's some new thing that people are trying to assist with big shrapnel damage, but it hasn't worked out once so far.
Yeah, that's his tactic. I mean, again, to each their own. There's an easy skip there for Niclas with the cattle prod, just looking around, I guess, to maneuver him into the right location, as he doesn't want to end up with that pig being a bomb to be pushed next to his own pig, but again, ensuring that he knows the turn order and gets his second skip of the game, still with a full HP para, who still has that single jetpack. So is now the time? No, it is not, because Who needs health crates, right? He's too cool for school, man.
Yeah, because screw the health.
But yeah, no, he's...
Yeah, let's... Just trying to think. The sniper of Seifer is still very healthy. He's obviously poisoned now, but he was on 140 not so long ago. So that's still, I think Niclas is now prioritising the correct guy, trying to even up the health kind of thing, bring him down a little bit.
Yeah,
what's down to now? 65.
130 and 65 in poison. So there's potential for maybe a double here, but that's very difficult power-wise. So he's going to go body block and poison, which is decent, but 55, sorry, not 65 now, 55 and 130. He is still very much in this. But my next question, oh no, overthrows!
Oh, once again.
Big mistakes again with the power levels.
Yeah, so I've had some real trouble with that in this set of matches.
Yeah, so he's he's going to take advantage, get the backwards head jumps like a real pro to, I guess, backwards head jumps to sniper rifle combo. In fact, he doesn't even need to do them all right now. Yeah, he can do them on the next turn, finish him off with the 40 and get the third skip of the game, but not before poisoning the final pig on Seifer's team. So
just a matter of time now, I feel.
Yeah, he is very much on a countdown. He's got roughly, so long as the scout doesn't die, he's got about another 15 turns most.
Just thinking about the lineup advantage as well, I think taking 2 snipers is quite worth it on here, because as we're seeing, with the sort of lumpy bumpiness of the terrain, very nice shrapnel there. Yeah, with the bumpiness of the terrain, it's actually quite difficult to get double poisons away on here. So more scouts, more poisons, more single poisons. I think that's probably the way to go, actually. I sort of forget just how difficult it can be to get doubles on here. So yeah, maybe the 2 scouts for Niclas is doing the work for him now.
Yeah, when you bring a sapper, you have to have the mindset of, okay, where am I pushing my target? If you're on a map that holds hazards, be it minefields or water, or even high explosive barrels, as we see on a lot of the newer maps too, that has to be your prime directive, to maneuver whichever pig as close as he can be to that minefield. And there is the 4th skip. Basically every pig that has died has been skipped now for Niclas. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely mad. But yeah, classic Niclas plays here, and we're going to see another big airburst. He's going to aim to take out his own guy as well, I'm sure, to avoid his own skip, which he does, and nice damage too. Yeah, such a great weapon, the airburst.
Yeah, he's collecting all of them. I feel like that para should have been target number 1, but of course the problem with that, with any pig that has collected a weapon, you basically have to ensure that he skips a turn in order for you to then gain access to those crates, because if you kill him, then on the next turn your opponent could just pick it up again. So it's a tricky one, and I feel like maybe in future Pitch Invasion could have a slight adjustment of the timing for those crates, because it is quite an easy first turn for most players collecting both, but to be debated in the comments, I guess. What a way to finish it.
Okay, GG's.
Yeah, once again, just go for that decisive final turn. Don't need to worry about damaging your guy. Niclas in the driving seat the whole way through, I'd say, and yeah, a decisive victory.
Very well deserved, and it will be, as we see, Mr. Niclas taking it 2-1. So that is going to wrap it up for this Group A match. Niclas continues his unbeaten streak up to 9 points now. Seifer very close on both games, but ends up with the defeat once more. So still looking for his first Pro League win of this season, but still plenty of games to go. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you once more, KB, for joining me this evening.
Yes, thank you for having me, and I hope to join again very, very soon. That was most enjoyable. A little bit rusty, but hey, had fun. That's the main thing. See you later, everyone.
And we will catch you guys later for the next one.